Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball, live here from the USF Softball Baseball Complex in beautiful Tampa, Florida. My name is Charlie Brigham, alongside me, Kelin, Flynn. We are bringing you another matchup. Michigan coming off a tough loss to number 5 Florida, looking to bounce back against the hosting USF Bulls. And action is underway. It's Georgina Corrick starting in the circle for the Bulls. Up at the plate first for the Michigan Wolverines, it is Lexi Blair leading it off. Blair's been making a lot of solid contact as of late, but just been struggling to find gaps. She's currently locked up in the count here, 1-1. The corners playing up. It's Maldonado on the one and Epperson on the other as Blair knocks this one foul down the first base line.
We talked about it a little bit, but Georgina Corrick, one of the top pitchers in the nation. We saw her accept an award yesterday from the American Athletic Conference. Definitely going to be another tough, gritty game at the plate for the Wolverines.
Corrick nods yes, now delivers. This one a rise ball hit pretty well towards left field. The sun in the eyes of the outfielders, but coming over to make the play is the center fielder, Cadlam. So one up and one down for Georgina Corrick. Something she is very familiar with, and that's going to bring up number 23 for the Wolverines, Christina Burkhart.
Burkhart had a solid couple games yesterday, reaching second base on a couple doubles, scoring a run with an RBI as well. But the bats across the board went cold against the Gators. Wolverines going to look to rebound at the plate today. In the second game of the doubleheader today.
Pitch number 2 on the way from Corrick. Catches the outside corner. We're back to 1-1. As you mentioned, the Wolverines bats went a bit cold. Last game against the Gators, the Wolverines unable to put a hit across the board until the bottom of the 7th inning when Hannah Carson knocked a single through the infield. That one, the first and only hit the Wolverines were fortunate enough to tally. Pitch number 2 catches the outside corner. Now Djerkowski down in an 0-2 hole. Or Burkhart, correction, sorry. Taylor Bump looking on from the 3-hole over in the on-deck circle. The 1-2 pitch from Corrick. That one just missing a bit high for ball number 2. Home plate umpire for this one, Willie Lopez. We saw him yesterday. A few notes on his strike zone seemed to be that, while very consistent, did seem a bit tight at times. Corrick's 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Michigan's lineup looking pretty much the same as it has so far. Blair, Burkhart, Bump, Carson, Essman, Sealer, Wiedrich, Kirsten, and Mcveigh rounding it out. Corrick spinning the ball against the right hip. Now delivers. This one popped up our way and makes its way off the net and dribbles down towards the bathrooms on our left-hand side down below.
Yeah, really the only change is Kirsten starting. But other than that, Wolverines and Carol Hutchins keeping it consistent.
2-2 pitch from Corrick. Rides high, and we're going to go full count here. Corrick taps her chest a few times, talking to Foreman, saying, that one's my bad. I left it a little bit up. Corrick again going back, spinning the ball on the right hand. Infield playing back. The 3-2 pitch hit foul, almost takes Taylor Bump's head off with quick dives out of the way.
Great reflexes there by Bump in the on-deck circle.
So, following the foul ball, Christina Burkhart will step back in, still with a full count here. Burkhart, so far, a 400 hitter on the season. Corrick's full count pitch, rings her up, catches the top of the zone, and Burkhart unhappy with that call.
And we just mentioned it, but Corrick, again, not going to be an easy day at the plate for the Wolverines with Corrick in the circle. Tough pitching matchups in both games for the Wolverines. Delbury was dealing for the Gators.
First pitch to Taylor Bump. She waves at a changeup for strike number 1. Georgina Korick just so poised in the circle. We mentioned the fantastic season she had last year, looking to follow that up with another impressive 2022 campaign. Pitch number 2 catches the top outside corner for strike number 2, and now bumped down deep in an 0-2 hole.
This is not where you want to be, obviously, if you're Taylor Bump. Korick can get a little aggressive here.
Korick back to the rise ball on 0-2. This one missing the top of the zone. Hannah Carson over in the on-deck circle. As we mentioned, the only Wolverine to tally a hit in the last one. She's got her knee guards on. Korick's 1-2. Bump takes a half swing, and they're going to say she went around for strike number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for the Wolverines. And they're going to have to go out on the defensive attack and try to slow down the hosting USF Bulls.
Yeah, Korick able to retire the side there with ease. But for Michigan, trotting out the freshman in the circle, Lauren Djerkowski.
Durkowski, we saw her come in relief yesterday in that first game against Kansas City. Obviously, Alex Durkowski went the distance in game number 2 against Illinois State in that impressive 18 strikeout outing.
Djerkowski looked solid in the little time we saw her against the Roos.
And 2 innings pitched, Djerkowski only let up 2 hits, had 5 strikeouts to her name, and only walked 1 batter. She's going to have to go up against a red-hot Bulls lineup here. Leading off, it's going to be Johns, followed by Sheehan, then Rivera, the first 3 up. Johns 5 for 8 so far to start her season off. She's also scored 5 times, stolen 2 bases.
Yeah, Charlie, we caught a little bit of the Bulls game yesterday after the Wolverines' first 2 games wrapped up in the early window, taking on Kansas City. They were hitting the ball really well.
Quick little infield meeting in the circle, and we are set to go. Durkowski wipes off the hands, and now we'll settle in. As we mentioned, it's the lefty right fielder, Johns. Johns so far this year hitting .625, hitting .800 from that leadoff spot. Djerkowski's first pitch to the slap hitter a little bit high in the zone for ball number 1. Kelin, you mentioned we stuck around for a bit of that game yesterday. Alexis Johns had a hit that, a vast majority of college softball wouldn't have been able to leg out, but with the incredible speed, she was able to make her way down there and reach first base safely as pitch number 2 is a called strike.
Yeah, UCF's got a lot of speed in their lineup, and you highlighted Johns specifically. She was making plays on the diamond with her legs and the base running. And that's a skill that it can be kind of undervalued at times, but can really change a game when you're able to advance from first to second on singles often and leg out those infield hits that are very close from time to time.
Djerkowski missed with the 1-1. This one a changeup hit on the ground toward Bump, who was playing up, fires across the diamond. And they're going to say she was safe. Lauren Essman pulled her foot. What should have been a routine play, we mentioned that speed of Alexis Johns, just putting pressure on the defense. And Coach Hutchins is very upset with that one.
Yeah, the Wolverines, the entire infield looked shocked there. And Hutchins is out on the diamond to get some clarification on the call there. Very well respected in the world of collegiate softball. Actually just had a little moment for her, recognizing her as she's 4 wins away from the all-time being the all-time most winningest coach in college softball history.
A quick but stern word with first base umpire Bradley Erbhart. And we are set to go again. Johns over there on first base. We mentioned her speed. She's already stolen 2 bags so far this season. And Carson going to have to be cognizant of that behind the plate. First pitch to Megan Sheehan is a bit high for ball number 1.
And Johns looking to get greedy here in the first inning.
And she is going to go. The throw down from Carson, and barely sliding in ahead of it is Jones.
And just like that, the Bulls have a runner in scoring position, no outs. Already threatening in this first inning.
Alexis Johns showing off the legs already. It was a fantastic throw from Carson. Corners playing well in front of the bag now. She shows bunt. Djerkowski's changeup rides a bit high in the zone. It'll be 3-0 now.
Great job by Mcveigh, the shortstop, covering third base just to make sure Johns doesn't take off and snag another base there.
Bumping Essman on the corner. She shows bunt again, and that one isn't going to matter. It's ball 4 high. So the first 2 batters reach safely for South Florida, and that's going to bring up number 19, Alana Rivera.
Rivera in that 3-hole has some pop. One of the better hitters in this lineup for the Bulls.
Rivera pretty clearly squares and tries to bunt the first one, pops it up behind her, foul. Rivera just importantly defensively to this team as she is on the offensive end, starting shortstop for the Bulls. Durkowski checks the wristband, now set to deliver. Squares to bunt again, and it's fouled backwards once more, so Alana Rivera will swing away here with 2 strikes. 0-2 count, no outs. And runners on second and first. With the speed of Johns on second, a single would almost assuredly score as the 0-2 changeup hits the dirt.
Yeah, anything into the outfield, especially that gets down, you've got to assume Johns is coming around, being waved towards home.
Rivera steps back in, way deep in that right-handed batter's box. The 1-2 just misses high, and home plate umpire Willie Lopez is met with some boos from the Michigan faithful sitting right behind him.
Again, like the Florida game just a couple minutes ago, very packed house here.
Changeup gets it away, but Rivera barely able to put the bat on the ball. An awkward swing there from Alana Rivera. Her right foot swung all the way around, almost over home plate. She was well off balance. Durkowski on 2-2. Blows it by her, but just inside. Carson held that one for an extra beat.
Yeah, great effort to frame that by Carson. You mentioned Willie Lopez has had a pretty tight strike zone throughout this entire tournament.
So now full count, no outs, 2 runners on for the freshman Lauren Djerkowski. She delivers. This one hit right back to her, checks at second base, and just decides to throw over to first and get the out. So Rivera unable to tally a hit, but that one a productive at-bat. Both runners advance, and now USF with their cleanup hitter Pond coming up to the plate. It's Johns on third and Sheehan on second, 2 runners in scoring position.
UCF has to be very excited with how this first inning's gone. Durkowski, the freshman pitcher, in a bit of a jam early. Really interesting to see how she responds.
First pitch is a changeup from Durkowski for a called strike 1.
Djerkowski gave up a couple of hits against Kansas yesterday, but responded quite well. Didn't allow any runners to cross home plate.
We mentioned she pitched 2 innings, struck out 5. Her 0-1 pitch, a little bit too high for Willie Lopez's liking. Bump and Nessman playing in, as well as the rest of the infield. Michigan in run prevention mode. Outfield, however, playing back. You know Pond's got the power if she needs it. That one, another one that barely misses. Michigan fans are getting into it early here in Tampa.
Yeah, already a little bit upset after that tough loss to Florida. These tight calls not going their way is not going to help with that.
2-1 pitch from Durkowski. That one a changeup caught the outside corner.
Pond wanted to swing at that one, just the timing of the changeup had her locked up.
Now 2-2 count to the cleanup hitter, Vivian Pond. The freshman Durkowski delivers, swung on and missed. Great pitch there by Lauren Djerkowski to send one of the biggest threats in this USF lineup back to the dugout.
Durkowski showing great poise under pressure. 2 runners in scoring position. One of the better hitters in this Bulls lineup at the plate. And able to mow her down.
First pitch is a called strike to the catcher, number 28, Josie Foreman.
And if Djerkowski is able to get out of this inning unscathed, that shows a lot about her confidence from the circle and shows a lot about her poise to head coach Carol Hutchins.
She swings and hits this one deep towards left field, and forget about it. That one bounces off the Lawler family batting facility, and USF out to an early 3-0 lead. Durkowski left the ball right in the middle of the zone, and a good hitter like Foreman is going to punish you every time for that.
Yeah, Foreman got all of that and some, nearly knocking it onto the roof of the Lawler family batting facility out in left field. Instead, we'll settle for the siding.
So Megan Piero will step to the plate now. The lefty junior following the 3-run home run from Foreman. Durkowski resets and throws. This one fouled back for strike number 1. Two outs here. Durkowski only needs one more to get him back in the offensive attack. The 0-1, a changeup hit hard on the line, but it's going to go foul. That one right over the third base coach's head. Ellie Searler will throw it back in.
And the Bulls dugout barking for Piero. We saw that yesterday. Anytime she came up to bat, the whole dugout erupting with barks.
Djerkowski ahead in this count, 0-2. Goes to the rise ball and misses up. Piero 3 for 5 so far on the season with a triple in her resume, 6 RBIs as well. The freshman Durkowski still ahead in the count, delivers 1-2 changeup. He had a check swing, but wasn't even close to going. Two-two count now, spinning the ball in the right hand and checking the wristband. The delivery. Change up. Right down the plate for a called strike 3. Fantastic at-bat there for Durkowski as she bounces back, but not before USF puts 3 across. We're going to head to the top of the second inning. The USF Bulls up 3-0.
The Wolverine bats got to wake up here because Georgina Korick is not going to make things easy.
We mentioned the excellence of Georgina Korick, third in all of college softball last year in strikeouts. She'll have Carson, Essman, and Sealer to deal with first, 4, 5, 6, followed by Annabelle Wedra and Sierra Kirsten at 7 and 8, and Ella Mcveigh to round out the order at the 9 spot. Give you the defensive lineup for the USF Bulls. Left to right in the infield is Maldonado, Rivera, Piero, and Epperson. Left to right in the outfield, Sheehan, Cadleb, and Johns. And then, of course, Georgina Korick in the circle and Foreman, who just blasted that home run behind the plate.
Interesting decision from Coach Hutchins not to have Megan Bobian on the mound, or excuse me, in the circle to start this one off. I think that was probably the assumption going into this. Instead, Djerkowski gets the nod. Although Bobian did see a little bit of action against Florida.
Carson to go to work at a 3-run deficit. Korick's first pitch of the second inning is hit hard on the ground towards first base, and it's going to go foul. Epperson tried to get over to it. Carson from that left-hand side, very much so a pole hitter. We saw one of her only hits on the season, 1 of 2 yesterday on a line drive that went off the glove of the first baseman. That only hit for the Michigan Wolverines last game came between the gap between second and first. She takes a big swing at the rise ball on 0-1, and now she's down 0-2.
Korick's command of all of her pitches just masterful. She has it on display so far early.
0-2 pitch to Hannah Carson, swung on and missed. That will bring Lauren Essman up to the plate. Korick spins the ball in the right hand, now delivers to Lauren Essman. That one blazes by her and catches the outside corner for a called strike 1.
Just great velocity there from Korick. Able to turn up the heat when she needs to.
Nods yes to the sign, now goes changeup right back to that same spot, but seems to be a little high in the zone. It'll go 1-1. Essman 3 for 10 so far on the season with 2 doubles and an RBI. The 1-1 pitch from Korick. Rides a bit high. So now 2-1. Korick working from behind. Not something you really see from her much. This one hit on the ground. It's going to be a close play. Fired across the diamond, and they're going to say she's safe. Rivera had to come deep into the hole behind third base, and Epperson made a great stretch at it, but Lauren Essman showing off the hustle and making it way down the first base line.
Great hustle by Essman to beat that one out. Very, very close play there at first. And first base umpire Bradley Eberhardt has had a couple of tight calls there early.
First base runner of the ball game for the Michigan Wolverines. And the freshman Ellie Sealer stepping to the plate now. Watch his first one go by outside for ball 1. We saw Sealer have an incredible defensive game in the matchup previously before this against Florida. Had that catch where she tracked one down all the way over to the tarp in foul territory. Also made another catch deep in foul territory where she had to slide to get there in time as she waves at pitch number 2 for strike 1.
Sealer had a fantastic couple of defensive plays in the game against Florida.
Corrick's 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground over towards third. They're going to try to turn the double play, and they're only able to get the lead runner. Maldonado made a nice job to get Essman over there at second base. So Michigan's going to have 2 outs as Ellie Sealer reaches on a fielder's choice. It'll be 2 outs running on first.
And Rivera showing off the leather there on that shortstop position. Fielding it cleanly. Nice flip to second.
Annabelle Riedra stepping to the plate. We saw her finish the last game in the circle for Michigan. She came in relief of Megan Bobian. A little bit of action down there in the Michigan bullpen already. It's Emerson Aiken, the freshman from Henrico, Virginia. Second pitch to Riedra, second called strike in a row, and now she's down 0-2. You don't want to be down 0-2 to anybody, and especially not a pitcher of Georgina Corrick's caliber.
Now that allows her to really make full use of her entire repertoire.
Riedra lines up the bat and fouls off the 0-2. Sierra Kirkston in the starting lineup for this one is in the on-deck circle. The Bulls over on the fence, cheering on their team here. 0-2 pitch from Corrick, swung on and missed in the dirt. And Corrick sits the Wolverines back down. We're going to head to the bottom of the second inning as Georgina Corrick puts on a masterclass in the circle.
And that's exactly what we expected coming into this one. That's just what she does. Georgina Corrick, one of the best in the country at sitting down batters.
It is going to be Djerkowski back there in the circle.
This is the first real adversity the Wolverines have faced this season today. I know it's very, very early in the season, but Friday against Illinois State and Kansas City, Wolverines cruised in both games behind Storako and Bobian.
Flashback to that first inning. The leadoff hitter, Alexis Johns, reached on error. It was a tough play at first base. Bump made a nice throw, but first base umpire Bradley Earphart said that Lauren Essman pulled her foot, so Johns ended up safely on first and stole second base. Sheehan got walked next, the 2-hitter. And then next 2 were struck out. Nice play to strike out Rivera and Pon, and then the 5-hitter Foreman stepped up for the Bulls and knocked one over that outfield wall.
That was a deep home run. I mean, she got all of that one. No question once it left the bat.
Don't know quite what the holdup is. Is Madison Epperson just chit-chatting with the home plate umpire. Now it seems we're ready to go. Epperson takes a big, deep breath and steps into the batter's box. Durkowski's first pitch hit hard on the ground, and that's going to make its way past Taylor Bump. Epperson getting aggressive early.
One reaches all the way back to Ellie Sealer Sealer in left field, and Bump and Mcveigh unable to converge on that one.
So 1 pitch and 1 runner on for USF, as Djerkowski will now set to deliver to Des Maldonado. Big swing on pitch number 1. It's fouled backwards into the net. Maldonado, the third baseman.
And these bats for USF have been red hot this entire tournament.
Djerkowski takes her time and checks the wristband. The delivery on 0-1. Rise ball goes way upstairs. Nice job by Hannah Carson getting up to get it.
Bulls put up 9 on Thursday against Illinois State.
That one, the opening game of this invitational, really got things rolling. Djerkowski's 1-1, a changeup, waved at and dribbled down the third baseline. Great pitch there by Lauren Djerkowski. Maldonado was so far ahead of that one.
That's something all of these Michigan pitchers have done a great job of establishing, is the changeup, the off-speed pitch. Making great use of it early.
1-2, fouled off again. Number 72, Cadlub, in the on-deck circle. She is the 9-hitter before USF heads back to the top of the order. Djerkowski spins the ball on the right hip and now delivers. This one, another changeup. This one's going to stay fair, and Taylor Bump doing a nice job letting that one roll until it's in foul territory.
Nice awareness by the graduate student. She's seeing a thing or two on that third base line.
Maldonado, not the quickest player in this Bulls lineup, but that ball was just perfectly placed enough where she would have definitely legged that one out had it stayed fair. She fouls off another 1-2 pitch.
It had great spin on it to where it wasn't really advancing fast, just kind of slowly inching its way up the chalk.
Carson relays the signs. And now another 1-2, this one outside. Fans still piling in here. USF with the obvious home field advantage as they are the team hosting the Invitational. Corner's playing up. Durkowski gets her to pop another one up. This one, a long at-bat from Des Maldonado.
Grinding here with Djerkowski.
Two-two pitch on the way from Lauren Djerkowski. That one, rise ball hit hard down the line, and what a play by Taylor Bump. That one had double written all over it, and Taylor Bump put a stop to that quickly.
Taylor Bump continuing to demonstrate incredible defensive prowess throughout this tournament. She's made numerous plays from that third base spot.
First pitch from Djerkowski, a changeup that just misses wide. It's now Jordan Cadlub up to the plate. We have a quick mountain meeting. Emerson Aiken is since stopped warming up down in the Michigan bullpen and made her way back to the dugout. Cadlub so far on the season 0 for 4, has a walk and that one time on base. Managed to make her way around for her lone run. Have a long chat going on in the middle circle. Home plate umpire Willie Lopez will make his way out there and try to get play resumed.
Yeah, lengthy discussion going on right now.
The sun's starting to set, or at least making its way behind some clouds. Not as bright as it was before. It's cooled down a bit.
Just a beautiful day, though. Cannot complain for the weather we've got. Peaked out around 81 today. Just a super light breeze, keeping the air moving.
The meeting wraps up. We're set to go. Cadlub tried to lay down a bunt on 1-0, but fouls it back up into the air. We saw the center fielder Cadlub make the first play on Lexi Blair's pop up as she swings on the 1-1 and fouls it backwards once more.
And the Bulls hitter is doing a great job fouling off balls, staying alive in their at-bats, making Djerkowski earn every out.
Deep breath from Durkowski, and the 1-2 on the way. Just missing inside. Djerkowski now through 3 1/3 innings of work. Has 7 strikeouts to her name. Looking to make it 8. That one a change up, low in the dirt. Nice block by Hannah Carson to keep it in front.
That's a really big play because Epperson definitely possesses the speed to take second there if that ball is not fielded cleanly.
Full count pitch from the freshman Durkowski. Change up on the outside, throw down to second base, and they got her. What a sequence of events by Michigan to end that one. Djerkowski freezes her on the changeup on the outside corner, and Hannah Carson comes up gunning. Double play to end it.
What a great strike from the catcher, Hannah Carson. Perfect throw, and then Mcveigh comes over to apply the tag. Great execution by the Wolverines to gun down Epperson.
You know Hannah Carson has the arm. She's been bang, bang on pretty much every steal attempt of the weekend, and that one finally catches somebody.
Yeah, she's had the timing on all of them, just that one perfectly placed for Mcveigh to get off the tag. And maybe that's what the Wolverines needed to spark something here, a big play on the defensive side. Maybe we'll get the bats warmed up.
Michigan going to look to turn that defense into offense here. Sierra Kirsten will be the first one to step up to the plate. It's 8-9 top. Kirsten, Mcveigh, and then followed by Lexi Blair. As Kirsten makes her way to the batter's box, Hutt shares a quick few words with Mcveigh.
Georgina Cork back in the circle, looking to continue her dominance through 2.
Kirsten looks at the bat in front of her, takes a deep breath, now settles in. The bat resting on her left shoulder. First pitch from Cork catches the outside corner for strike number 1. You mentioned the great command from Georgina Cork. She's been able to paint the corners on both sides of the plate. 1, big swing from Kirsten. But that's going to be strike 2.
Somebody's got to be able to make a play with the bat for the Wolverines.
Cork nods no. The first sign now nods yes and goes to the rise ball and gets Kirsten swinging for out number 1. That'll bring the shortstop, Ella Mcveigh, up to the plate. The freshman hitting .333 so far this season. Bat held high above her left shoulder. First pitch swung on, foul back to the net.
Mcveigh possesses the speed to beat something out if it stays in the infield.
Mcveigh lines up the bat, now settling in. Follows that one back to the exact same spot, and now Corrick out in front, 0-2.
Cork's been in this position a few times now early and has not given it up.
Mcveigh lines up the bat again. This one hit on the ground. It's going to bounce off the glove of Corrick, and Mcveigh legs it out. We mentioned the speed of Ella Mcveigh, and putting it on display right there.
And the Wolverines finally get one on the base paths after Corrick held them off the bases through 2.
That'll go down as a hit. So Ella McVeigh's average for the year advances to .429. Top of the order for the Wolverines, Lexi Blair takes the swing at pitch number 1 and pops it up foul.
And I know I've been saying this all weekend, but you have to imagine it's just a matter of time until Lexi Blair gets one to drop in here.
Blair 1 for 11 so far in the weekend, but yeah, as you mentioned, has put everything in play, yet to strike out. Her one hit coming last night, it was a double. The 0-1. As Blair watches it go by low and outside, the count will advance to 1-1.
Mcveigh with the speed that we've mentioned to steal here.
Blair, lefty, if she's able to pull one down that first base line, would not be surprised to see Ella Mcveigh make her way all the way around as Blair puts down a bunt. It's going to be a close play at first, and Georgina Corrick able to make the play, but Ella Mcveigh advances to second.
That bunt just got out a little bit further than I think Lexi Blair wanted it to. Made it a fairly routine play for Corrick. Able to field it cleanly and flip it over to first.
So the Wolverines trading out for a runner in scoring position. It's Mcveigh on second and Burkhart at the plate as she swings on pitch number 1 and pops it up foul.
And anything out of the infield here gives Mcveigh the potential to score.
Christina Burkhart, we mentioned the storyline, the transfer student from UNC in her last year of eligibility, coming to the Big Ten and trying to make a difference, and boy has she. An incredible first game as Mcveigh goes to third. It's a tough play. She gets hit with the loose ball, and she's going to take home. And Ella Mcveigh able to capitalize. The throw from the catcher Foreman hit her in the leg and bounced into the Michigan dugout out of play. So Michigan puts one across here in the top of the third.
And that's just what the Wolverines needed there, a little bit of a spark to perhaps get the scoring going in day 3 of the USF Rawlings Invitational.
So one run across, and now Burkhart drives this one deep in the left center gap, covering all sorts of ground. There's a left fielder Sheehan, but she can't get there in time. Burkhart in with a stand-up double.
And Charlie, you just talked about it, the impact that Burkhart has had on this Wolverines lineup. Hitting for extra bases there. Just off the tip of the glove of the left fielder, number 7, Sheehan.
Great piece of hitting there by Christina Burkhart, driving that one into the opposite field gap. We mentioned it a few times yesterday, but isn't this a familiar sight? Taylor Bump steps to the plate with Christina Burkhart over there on second base. As the Let's Go Blue chants start to ring loud here. First pitch to Bump, hit foul our way. And it'll bounce off the net and drop down on top of the Michigan dugout.
Another one I thought I had a chance at there.
Taylor Bump shakes off the right arm, now steps back in to the batter's box. Corrick looking for the sign she likes, finally gets it. This one, a rise ball, goes over the glove of Foreman, and Burkhart takes third with ease.
And a bit of a wild pitch there by Corrick. Foreman maybe could have got a handle on it, but that one was up pretty high. Wolverines would love to capitalize on this with Burkhart at third, as we have a mound meeting now.
Ella Mcveigh's speed just putting pressure on defenses. And that first run that she notched across, the first run of the season, tallied towards Georgina Cork. So her ERA goes from a perfect 0.00 to a measly 1.04.
Did they credit that as an earned run or an error because of the...
It's on there as an earned run.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have counted that against.
Bump back up to the plate now, 1-1. Watches that one go by just below her knees. This count advances to 2-1.
Great discipline there. The veteran Taylor Bump. Not fooled. Not going to chase it low.
Burkhart in a runner's stance on third base. Bump. Chases a little high upstairs, but able to foul it off. The count now 2-2 with 2 outs. Burkhart will be running on contact. The entire Michigan Wolverines team is up on the fence. Cork's 2-2. Hit hard all towards Michigan as Lexi Blair jumps completely up on the fence and just holds herself there.
Good job by Hannah Carson to get out of the way of that one. And same thing with Coach Hutchins. That was screaming right at him.
The count stays 2-2. The pitch, and it's fouled off again. Taylor Bump doing a nice job just wasting these pitches until she gets the one she wants. And she showed us back in game 1 what she can do.
Absolutely, sending that one over the right center field wall. Has the power, led the team in home runs last year.
Georgina Cork delivers. This one hit deep towards left center field. Back to the warning track is Sheehan, and she's able to reel it in.
Nice play by Sheehan. Making up for the mistake last time.
Taylor Bump just missed that one. She didn't really make solid contact and was still able to put it out to the warning track.
And that just shows you the power that she possesses. There's a reason she led the team in home runs last season.
We're going to head to the bottom of the third, and Lauren Djerkowski will come out there to take the circle again. It's going to be the top of the order due up. Johns, Sheehan, and Rivera. Johns, in her last time up, reached on that error in the infield. Ground ball to third base, and then Lauren Essman pulled her foot on the throw. She became the first base runner alongside Sheehan, who was walked up next. And then both of them, if you remember, back in the bottom of the first inning, Foreman scored them on that 3-run blast.
Wolverines offense finally gets a little bit of momentum. Mcveigh able to cross home, and Burkhart makes her way all the way to third. She's stranded there, but you'd like to think that that's maybe the momentum they needed to get these bats going.
Carson checks the wristband and relays a little bit of information. It looks like we're set to go finally. Again, it'll be the right fielder, Alexis Johns, up to the plate. As we're still having some discussion on the Michigan side, just trying to get everybody synced up.
Some of the players having a little fun on the infield as the music continues during the stoppage.
Durkowski and Carson were trying to get each other lined up and on the same page in terms of signs. And on the left side of the infield, Taylor Bump and Mcveigh are just dancing to Come On Eileen. First pitch from Djerkowski. is a strike, so now she's ahead in this count 0-1. Corners playing up. Again, we mentioned Johns has the speed to leg out an infield single. A nice changeup freezes her there. The count goes to 0-2.
You got to remember, these are all student athletes themselves, so it's like a little vacation for them too. They get to come down to sunny Tampa and enjoy the warm weather.
Djerkowski's advantage pitch, just missing the outside. Again, we mentioned with home plate umpire Lopez, it's strict, but very consistent. Infield playing up, outfield as well. 2-2. Hit on the ground towards second base, and Annabelle Widra with a routine play for out number 1.
Nice work by the freshman, able to reel that one in and fire it on over to Lauren Essman for the easy out. Essman, make sure to keep her foot on the bag this time. Not going to give Johns any chance to get on base for free.
And up comes Megan Sheehan. Walked in her first time up back in the first inning. First pitch from Durkowski is a changeup that bounces on home plate. Corners still playing up middle of the infield, a bit back now. Sheehan's still a threat to lay one down, but doesn't have quite the speed that Johns does. Swings on pitch number 2 and it evens it out. It's Rivera over in the on-deck circle. The wind up on 1-1. That one missing high, up just above the letters of Megan Sheehan. The outfield has returned to normal depth. Still a packed house. Not quite as many as Florida, as they were overflowing into the grass behind the right field wall. As Djerkowski misses low and in the dirt with another changeup.
There's a handful of people congregating over there. Not nearly as many as before, but it looks like a couple of the Gator fans stuck around to catch some extra action.
3-1 hitters count to Megan Sheehan. Durkowski goes to the rise ball and almost hits her in the head. Megan Sheehan able to work 2 straight walks, and that'll bring up Alana Rivera, grounded out back to the pitcher her first time.
Rivera in that 3-hole has the power.
Pond is in the on-deck circle. First pitch swung on, hit deep towards center field. Lexi Blair with plenty of time to settle under for out number 2.
Sheehan took off a little bit there, so unable to tag.
And now up steps the designated player, Vivian Pond. First pitch her way. Just missing outside. Pond has the power to drive one deep if she needs. She showed it off yesterday. Sheehan with her left foot on the bag over at first, the right foot behind. Djerkowski's changeup catches the outside half for strike 1.
And this 3-4-5 spot for the Bulls loaded with power. Rivera, Pond, and Foreman showed it off last inning. Excuse me, in the first inning.
1-1 to the 3-hitter, the 4-hitter rather, is fouled back. Djerkowski now ahead in this count, 1-2. Would love to get out of this inning without having to face Foreman again. Djerkowski's 2-strike pitch fouled back.
Foreman able to knock that 3-run shot in. Don't want to leave her anyone on base.
1-2 advantage pitch from Lauren Djerkowski. Change up, throws her on the outside, and they ring her up.
Pond looked very uncomfortable with the changeup there.
Fantastic pitch from Lauren Durkowski. And that's going to send Michigan back in on the offensive. We're going to head to the top of the fourth inning. The Wolverines down 3-1, but showing signs of life.
Pond just absolutely lost there, but Michigan hopefully has awakened the offense. Out hitting the Bulls 3-2, but the 2 runners on and Foreman giving them the lead.
Foreman will be the first Bull due up when they get back into the dugout. But until then, Georgina Korik's got to do the work. She's going to have 4, 5, 6 up for the Wolverines. It's Carson, Essman, and then Sealer, followed by Weidra, Kirsten, Mcveigh at 7, 8, 9.
It was the bottom half of the lineup that got it going the first time. Mcveigh, the one that scored on the infield single.
Korik kicks around a little bit of dirt, getting the circle just the way she likes it. Looks like we're now ready to go. Kansas City Roos behind the left field wall. Temperature dropping now and getting a little bit chilly here. Korik blows into the right hand. Warm it up, get a little bit extra grip. Carson now finally steps into the batter's box. A lot of weight on that back left leg. Korik's pitch is hit right back at her, and she makes a nice play to throw over to Emerson at first base. With a great pitcher like Korik, you know that there's not going to be too many balls outside of the zone. Michigan has kind of taken that to note and has gotten aggressive early here in the counts.
Yeah, and they've put a lot of balls in play, much more than they did against Florida. It's just, at least at this point, it's just the defense of the Bulls has been fantastic.
Essman hits a soft ground ball to second base. And now that's 2 pitches and 2 outs for Georgina Korik. Ellie Sealer is going to have to get something going here for Michigan. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. Korik taking her time. First pitch on the way, catches the outside for called strike 1.
Sealer's been fantastic in left field.
Pitch number 2 just barely misses her front right shoulder for ball number 1. It's freshman, then another freshman back-to-back for the Wolverines. Sealer, then Weidra. Then another underclassman in Kirsten as a sophomore in the 8-hole, followed up by, you guessed it, another freshman in Ella Mcveigh at 9. This one hit deep to center field, over the center fielder's head, and she's got at least one. And she's going to hold up at second base. What a piece of hitting by Ellie Sealer.
And Sealer showing it off on both sides of the field now. Doing it against Florida on the defensive end, and now letting the bat heat up here against the Bulls.
Great knock for the freshman. And now the Wolverines have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Great speed on second base in Sealer. We've seen Michigan get aggressive on the base pass so far. Pitch number 1 to Weidra is a changeup, which she misses. Capitalizing on opportunities. We mentioned it last game against Florida, and we're mentioning it again here. Michigan has to be able to put runners across. The 0-1 rides inside for ball number 1.
Well, when you're facing great pitching like the Wolverines are today, you're not going to have a ton of opportunities with runners in scoring position. So when you are fortunate enough to have runners on base and in scoring position, it's paramount to take advantage of those opportunities.
Corrick's 1-1. Another changeup that gets Weidra swinging. Maldonado over at third base had crept up. Now has retreated back. 1-2 count on the way. Corrick's pitch just missing outside, and the USF fans are not happy with that call. So we're even back out. It's a 2-2 count for the freshman, Annabelle Weidra. Corrick got the best of her in her first at-bat. Weidra looking for redemption here. This one up near her eyes for ball number 3, and we've got a full count. Sierra Kirsten looking on from the on-deck circle. Weidra lines up the bat again. Full count pitch on the way from the ace Corrick. This one hit hard on the ground, and it's going to be foul. That one kicked up chalk the first time it touched, but made its way well over into the first base coach's box as Emerson made a nice play to snag it.
Weidra battling here.
The full count pitch again from Corrick. Check swing, and they ring her up. Weidra didn't like what she saw, but Corrick gets her on the outside half.
Georgina Corrick just so deadly. There's a reason she was top 3 in the country in strikeouts last season, and she'll likely be up there again this year. Just filthy stuff.
Durkowski will take the circle again. And it's 5-6-7. Foreman, who had that 3-run blast back in the bottom of the first inning, the first due up for the Bulls. After that, it's Piero and then the first baseman Epperson, followed by Maldonado and Cadla before heading back to the top of the order. Michigan lineup defensively is still the same. It's Blair in center field, Burkhart in right, and Ellie Sealer following up that big double will be in left field. Carson with a nice throw down to end warm-ups, and we're ready to go. The catcher Foreman now 2 for 4 on the year for a .500 batting average, and you want to talk about production and extra base hits. Her 2 out of her 4 hits are a double, and then that 3-run home run. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, she's batting .500 with a double and a home run. That's more than pretty good. She's been the spark for the Bulls.
The pace of play here moving a lot slower in this game than in the past few.
A lot of stoppages in between innings. Not quite sure what the issue's been.
Seems like we're finally ready to go. Foreman steps into the batter's box, and Djerkowski onto the rubber. First pitch is hit deep towards center field. Blair back to the warning track, catching it on the run. Great play by Lexi Blair in center. Coming off the bat, it seemed like Josie Foreman mightn't have got the best of Djerkowski again, but a great job by Lexi Blair to track that one down.
And Blair's been fantastic in center field this entire weekend. Done great at tracking down everything that's come her way.
Quick meeting between Piero and the third base coach. That's some efficiency from Lauren Djerkowski. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Can't do it much more efficient than that.
We're just tuning in. The USF Bulls up 3-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. All 3 of those runs came on one swing back in the 1st. We have another little stoppage of play. You're just tuning in and are enjoying what you hear here on WCBN Sports. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you never miss one of our broadcasts. We have a loaded schedule coming up with all sorts of softball. Taylor Bump covering a lot of ground to try to get to that foul ball, but runs into the fence.
Yeah, that fence came up to her in a hurry. Makes the business decision not to eat a face full of net.
Piero struck out looking in her first time up back in the 1st inning. She hits this one hard on the ground. Nice play by Weidra to clean it up. And that's out number 2.
Great work from Weidra in there at second base. She's been phenomenal defensively.
Djerkowski takes a deep breath. And now first pitch to Emerson, a changeup that catches her off balance.
Wolverines really leaning on their freshmen, especially in this game. Durkowski on the mound, 2 freshmen on second and short, and then in left field.
Durkowski goes right back to the changeup on 0-1, and it catches that exact same spot to make it 0-2. Taking her time now. Goes to the glove. The 0-2 pitch popped up. If it stays foul, that's got a chance. Lauren Essman has to pull up right in front of the dugout. So foul ball, count stays 0-2.
Durkowski sliding into a little bit more of a groove here after a rough first inning.
The 0-2 pitch. That one misses upstairs for the first ball of the inning. Epperson singled her last time up. The wind picks up, blowing towards right field. This one just missing inside. Carson wanted that call.
Wolverine faithful not too happy with that one from Willie Lopez.
Epperson doing a nice job fighting back. It's 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Djerkowski's pitch, changeup. Line drive is going to go foul and make its way into a few softball bags. One of the Michigan players is going home with a souvenir. New softball, same count. It's 2-2 as Epperson steps back in. Djerkowski, rise ball, high and outside. It'll go full now.
Strong at bat here from Epperson.
Durkowski doesn't want to lose her here. Got the first 2 outs and 3 pitches. And was up 0-2 in this count. Full count pitch. Hit deep towards left field. Chasing it back to the warning track is Sealer, and forget about it. That one, a solo shot on a full count.
And the Bulls dugout is amped up after that one. Another one goes right over that left field wall.
The wind helping a little bit there. It didn't know if it had the distance to start. Ellie Sealer tracked it all the way back and then barely making it over by just a few feet.
And Djerkowski's going to have to settle back in here and try to get this third out after what had been a smooth inning.
First pitch to Des Maldonado, a little bit high.
Des Maldonado. Nothing going so far today. 1 hit in her 7 at-bats so far this young season.
Maldonado will have a 2-0 hitters count when she steps back in. It's the changeup on 1-0. Misses the zone for Djerkowski. Maldonado digs in, hits this one deep towards right field. Burkhart with plenty of room to work and catches it back at the warning track. So after Durkowski sits down the first 2 quickly, USF stands strong. Emerson with a solo blast over the left field wall.
And the Bulls showing off that power. Foreman, Epperson both knocking it over the left field wall, and that's been all the scoring for USF.
8-9 top for the Michigan Wolverines as they set to go out and attack Georgina Corrick again. They got 1 across on her last inning. It's going to be Kirsten Mcveigh and then Lexi Blair.
And it was Mcveigh that got the scoring going last time.
Legged out an infield single, then stole second, stole third, and on the throw down the third, it ricochets off her leg and out of play, so she took home.
Mcveigh, although she's in the 9th spot, has been swinging it the most efficiently for the Wolverines so far in the USF Rawlings Invitational, batting at a .429 clip, leading the team.
As the walk-up music comes to a close, it'll be Sierra Kirsten to step into the batter's box. The sophomore struck out swinging her last time up in the 3rd. Mcveigh trying to get the timing over there on deck. First pitch, a called strike in the middle of the zone. Corrick definitely frustrated, giving up that run back in the 3rd inning as she powers across another strike there. Since Michigan pushed that one across in the 3rd, her ERA has dropped back below 1 to .9. The 0-2 is a changeup low in the dirt. Nice job there by Kirsten laying off that one.
Obviously, that ERA is going to fluctuate a lot with so few innings pitched.
Kirsten settling in now. The 1-2 pitch popped up foul. It'll stay 1-2 as Foreman runs back to grab the loose ball. Little bit of action down there in the USF bullpen. 2 pitchers getting some reps, but the way Corrick's been pitching, as she strikes out Sierra Kirsten, nice changeup low in the zone. So I was saying the way Corrick's been pitching, should just let her hum.
No reason to change what's working. Corrick with 7 Ks already.
That'll bring up Mcveigh. Was left stranded on 3rd her last time up. Single. First pitch to her. It was a swing and a miss. Took a nice hack at it, though. Lexi Blair, the top of the order in the on-deck circle. Christina Burkhart all suited up in the hole. 0-1 pitch from Corrick. Hit over towards Blair, who will field it cleanly and make a nice toss back. 0-2 count now for Mcveigh. She's got a hole to dig herself out of. Corrick taking a long time getting these signs, finally decides on one. The 0-2 delivery. Blown outside as Foreman loses track of it and it makes its way to the backstop.
And Mcveigh with the speed like we've talked about numerous times. Anything in the infield, she's always a threat to reach.
Corrick's 1-2 as the wind starts to pick up. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there going away from the strength of Mcveigh. And that's going to be 2 outs as Lexi Blair comes to the plate now. Blair 0 for 1 on the afternoon here. Had a pop up to deep center field her first time up, laid down a sac bunt back in the third. Corners playing up. First pitch to Lexi is outside. Sun's starting to poke through the clouds a little bit here, and also the lights turning on. Corrick decides and delivers the 1-0, this one high up in the zone. It'll be a 2-0 hitters count here for Blair. This one not the last game of action, as Kansas City set to play immediately following this.
Believe they're taking on the Redbirds of Illinois State.
Blair hits this one, the 2-0 in the gap between first and second base. Nice piece of hitting there by Lexi Blair to twist on that one.
And there it is, finally. Lexi Blair, been making solid contact all weekend, finally gets another one to poke through.
So 2 outs and 1 runner on. Lexi Blair with plenty of speed over there at first base. Christina Burkhart, her last time up, had that stand-up double. Boy, would Michigan want another one of those right now. First pitch, a called strike 1. Wouldn't be surprised to see Michigan send Lexi Blair here. You know she's got the speed. And Blair was going to go as Burkhart tries to lay down a bump, but he goes foul.
Now in an 0-2 count, 2 outs. Blair's probably running on anything, you'd have to imagine.
Burkhart settles back in. .417 hitter on the year, hitting .500 with runners on. She chops this one foul as well. The wind picking up, blowing out towards the outfield. Could be a good sign if you're Christina Burkhart. That double back in the third hit the warning track.
Maybe that gets some extra legs this time around.
Corrick's 0-2. Hit hard, soft line drive, just barely making its way into the outfield, but what a play by Rivera to reel it in.
Nice play by Alana Rivera, the shortstop, tracking that one back toward the start of the grass and able to just reel it in.
This game moving right along as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Lauren Djerkowski back there in the circle. Defensive lineup stays the same. It's Bump, Mcveigh, Widra, and Essman. Correction, we do have a pitching change for the Wolverines. It is Annabelle Widra back there in the circle, so it'll be Kirsten back over to second base. It's 9, then top. Cadlip, followed by Johns and Sheehan. As I mentioned, we do have a pitching change. It is Annabelle Weidra. So Sierra Kirsten goes to second base, and Weidra will come back out. Taking her time, getting her sign situated with Hannah Carson. And now here comes Jordan Cadlip.
Cadlip 0 for 1 on the day with a K.
Corners playing up, middle of the infield playing back. First pitch. She lunges out and misses high and outside. Weidra doing a nice job getting ahead here early as we have a couple Michigan players run down to the bullpen. Cadlip tried to lay down a bunt there.
Weidra now in command with the 0-2 count.
It's Livingston and Rodriguez down there in the bullpen for Michigan, just playing a little bit of catch. Weidra's 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, pops out of the glove of Carson. She picks it up quickly and makes the tag for out number 1. So great start for the freshman Annabelle Weidra. And she'll have the top of the order to work with. It's Alexis Johns first. Reached on error in the first, grounded out to second in her last time up. First pitch is a strike, and Weidra seems to have found her stride here.
And Johns, the speedster, anything in the infield, she's a threat to reach on.
Weidra taking her time. Now here's the windup. That one, another strike. Johns down in an 0-2 hole.
And the Wolverines very aware of John's speed.
The whole infield playing up. Essman and Bump well in front of the bags. Mcveigh and Kirsten, even with the baselines at short and second. This one hit on the ground over to Bump. Weifel across the diamond, and Essman making sure to keep her foot on the bag there for out number 2.
Great job by the Wolverines, knowing their personnel, implementing a little bit of a shift there. And Bump all the way up, able to field that one really easily. Deliver the throw across the diamond to first for the out.
With 2 outs, Megan Sheehan steps to the plate, has walked twice today. Was knocked around on the 3-run home run from Foreman back in the first inning, was left stranded at first back in the third. Weidra twists and now delivers. That one just low. Carson tried to bring it up. As Kelin mentioned, we won't be in coverage, but there is another game after this one. It's Kansas City facing off against the Illinois State Redbirds. Weidra's 1-1. Just misses a little bit high. Two-one count now. Over in the on-deck circle is the shortstop, Rivera. The wind picking up even more here. 2-1 pitch. Too low for Lopez's liking, and now it'll be a 3-1 hitter's count for the left fielder, Sheehan.
You've mentioned it, Charlie. Lopez very, very consistent with his strike zone.
Bump and Essman playing up. The middle infielders creeping in a bit as well. 3-1 pitch right down Broadway, called strike 2. And Weidra 1 strike away from a perfect inning here. Checks the wristband, puts the right foot on the rubber, left toe back. The windup from Widra popped up our way. This one's got a chance to stay in, and nope, just as I say that, makes its way back down. That one is the first one in a while that looked like it had the right spin to somehow make its way over the net.
Something tells me not very many make it over. Although it wouldn't necessarily appear like it. There's a fairly sizable gap.
3-2 pitch from Widra. This one popped up towards left field. Sealer covering a lot of ground and making the play in foul territory. Seems like everything going up that way towards Ellie Sealer is going to somehow end up in her glove.
Another great play by Sealer in foul territory. Had 2 of them against the Gators. Continuing to show off that defensive prowess. The freshman gets the Wolverines out of the inning.
So we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning, and Michigan still has some catching up to do, down by 3. But the main storyline here is on the side of USF. Georgina Corrick is currently tied for the all-time AAC record in strikeouts, currently tied with Tulsa's Emily Watson at 903, meaning the next strikeout for Georgina Corrick would make her the all-time conference leader in strikeouts.
That's obviously a tremendous accomplishment for Corrick. Very deserving. One of the best in the nation.
To get there, though, she'll have to go through the meat of Michigan's lineup. Taylor Bump, Hannah Carson, and Lauren Essman, the first 3 due up. You'd have to imagine most of the USF fans here have, some semblance of the gravity of this situation coming into this inning.
Absolutely. Got to imagine the whole dugout knows as well. And again, another weird stoppage before we're able to get underway here in the 6th.
It'll be Taylor Bump stepping up to the plate. Georgina Corrick taking her place in the circle. Right foot on the mound. History drawing ever closer. First pitch to Bump, hit right back at her. Bounces out of the glove. It's going to be a tough play. Backhand flip from Corrick, and she gets out number 1. Bump put a nice piece on it, but the quick reaction time of Georgina Corrick keeps it in the infield. One pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Hannah Carson, 0 for 2 during this game.
Carson, the lone hit against the Gators, came in the 7th.
First pitch her way is a called strike. Corrick up early, 0-1. The Michigan dugout is all up on the fence, trying to urge their team forward as much as they can. The 0-1 is a rise ball that goes a little bit too high in the zone. Nice job by Carson letting it go.
And opportunities for the Wolverines to get back in this one, dwindling away with each out. Got to start the rally now.
0-1 pitch from Corrick is hit deep towards right field. That one skying, but hooked well foul. That one about the best well ball hit we've seen off of Georgina Corrick today.
Yeah, she doesn't allow very many well hit balls. Just how dominant she is.
Just a long strike. The 0-2 pitch to Hannah Carson, swung on and missed. And that is history. Georgina Corrick, with that one, has become the all-time AAC record holder in strikeouts with 904 and counting.
Very cool to be able to witness part of history right there. Corrick, one of the best in conference history in the American Athletic Conference.
First pitch to Lauren Essman is just foul.
That one could have maybe been 2 if it just landed fair. Unable to clip a piece of the chalk.
Credit where credit is due to Georgina Corrick. Someone make sure she gets that ball for the trophy case.
Absolutely.
0-1 pitch to Essman, low in the dirt. It'll even it out 1-1.
Don't need someone pulling a Mike Evans and throwing that ball away.
Yeah, I would imagine that Tom Brady has a little bit more disposable income than Georgina Corrick does. 1-1 hit deep towards left center field. This one back to the warning track, covering a lot of ground is the center fielder Cadlub. And Essman made nice contact, but not enough to leave the ballpark. We head to the bottom of 6th. USF still up by 3.
And haven't had much activity in the bullpen for the Wolverines, so got to assume it's still going to be Widra here, and it looks like it is.
Widra looked good last inning. No hits and a strikeout. Do have some more substitutions as well. It's going to be Kaylee Rodriguez over at shortstop. Emelina Livingston taking over at second base. So the two who went down to the bullpen to get a little bit of warm-up in will take over the middle infield. We'll see where they fall in the order. But at least defensively, they're in this one for the Wolverines for the first time today. Annabelle Widra is going to have 3, 4, 5 due up. It's Rivera, Pond, then Foreman. After those, it'll be Piero, Epperson, Maldonado, and the center fielder who made that last grab, Cadlub.
And we're right into the meat of this Bulls lineup. That murderer's row, Rivera, Pond, Foreman. A lot of power here.
Alana Rivera steps to the plate now. 0 for 2 in this one. With a ground out and a fly out to center field. Widra's first pitch misses just below the knees. The USF dugout has never lost its energy. It was up from the first pitch, and it's still rocking now. Widra's 1-0. A little bit too far outside for Willie Lopez's liking, so that'll make the count 2-0.
The Wolverines hoping this isn't the last time they'll be heading out to play defense.
Two-0 pitch from Widra's fouled back. When the Wolverines do get back in on the offensive attack, it'll be Sealer, Widra, and Kirsten, 6, 7, 8. Ellie Sealer in her last time up hit that double that looked like it might start a little bit of a rally. Widra's 2-1 pitch popped up, and that one's going to go well foul. Crowd still plenty full here. Widra to deliver now, the wind blowing right back at her. Gets her to chase, but she's able to pop it up, barely put a bat on it. Weidra takes her time. Looks to the dugout for the sign. Gets it and nods yes. Here is the 2-2. This one hit hard on the line. That one, Livingston diving at it, almost able to make the play.
Nearly a tremendous defensive play from the second baseman, Livingston. The Penn State transfer dove out for it, able to knock it down, just couldn't get her glove on it.
It just popped out from her body when she hit the ground. But had it stayed in the glove, she might have been able to make that play at first, and boy, what a play that would have been.
Still a great job to knock it down and keep it close.
We're going to have a pinch runner come in. So Rivera, after knocking the single, will head to the bench, and in comes, looks like number 40, Courtney Waldow. Waldow, the freshman from Palmetto, Florida. Weidra's first pitch. Pond shows bunt. Pulls back just in time. Essman and Blair were crashing hard. Correction, Essman and bump. Lexi Blair going in to back up second base. Pond 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts during this one. One swinging in the first and one looking in the third. Pitch misses low. Carson takes a look over to Waldow at first.
Waldow with the speed to take second. Bulls up 3 right now. Expect them to be aggressive here, trying to extend that, get some more insurance.
2-0 count. This one popped up. And that one's going to go foul over the heads of all those in the USF dugout. Middle infield playing back. Rodriguez at second. Livingston at, correction, Rodriguez at short. Livingston at second. 2-1 pitch from Weidra. Pond swung on and tips it back into the glove of hand of Carson. Nice squeeze. Two-two count. Waldow's leads have been increasingly aggressive on each consecutive pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see her take off soon. This one popped up again. Carson has a chance at it, and it makes its way over the net and into the hands of a fan. It makes a nice catch.
There's some cool points.
Gets some cheers from everyone surrounding him.
Showing off his new souvenir. Hopefully they'll let him keep it, although I do see a staff member trying to collect that from him.
After the foul ball, the count stays 2-2. Weidra spinning the ball under the glove. Now this one, hit on the air towards right field. Burkhart laying out for it, and it hits the ground right in front of her. Waldow taking third base. And that one going to go down as a single as Waldow slides in head first to third. What an effort by Christina Burkhart in right field. Covered all sorts of ground and laid out for it. Just barely made its way under her glove.
Nearly an unreal diving catch from the right fielder, Burkhart, but unable to haul it in. Still a nice job popping up quickly, getting that throw in. Preventing Pond from taking second and preventing Waldow from rounding third.
We're going to have a meeting in the circle and also another pinch runner coming in. So Pond will head back to the dugout, and then to pinch run will be Alana Consalzio, the redshirt freshman from Fort Myers, Florida. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Florida State looking to put more across. They've got runners on the quarter, great speed in Waldow. We have some signals So you get the pinch runners accounted for. Consolazio over at first base. Now speed on both edges. First pitch to Foreman. Called strike at the knees. Foreman with that big 3-run home run back in the first inning to crack things open for the Bulls.
And the Bulls really threatening here. No outs, runners on the corners.
Second pitch on the way from Widra. This one popped up, covering a lot of ground is Sealer. The runner not going to tag. Michigan did a great job there of fielding that one cleanly. And another ball in fair territory that ends up in the glove of Ellie Sealer.
And Sealer had the awareness, knowing a runner on third, immediately, once hauling that one in, looking to throw down to the third baseman, Taylor Bump.
That'll bring up Megan Piero. The corner's playing up, middle infield playing back for a double play. Looks like they changed their minds, and they'll play up as well. Michigan in complete run prevention mode. First pitch swung on and missed. Piero hitting .429 so far this season. Runners on the corners. Widra, her pitch on the way. Piero lines up the bat and then tries to knock one down the third baseline, but hits it foul instead. Bump will have to clean it up off the bounce. Piero up at the plate, down 0-2. Epperson, who's 2 for 2 on the day, looming large on deck. Widra's 0-2 pitch, a changeup that misses wide. Carson throws down to second. And making the tag is Kaylee Rodriguez.
Fantastic play by Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Consolazio kind of got tangled up a little bit there, and Consolazio unable to get a hand or a foot on the bag.
The USF fans and first base coach unhappy with that. There was a little bit of a collision between Kaylee Rodriguez and the runner Consolazio. But just incidental contact. The throw kind of took Rodriguez that way. She had every right to the ball.
The first base umpire, Eberhardt, talking it over with the USF coaching staff.
Widra throws a few pitches into her glove, just trying to keep her arm loose.
And that's a big out, because with potentially now 2 outs on the board, can't sacrifice that runner on third into home.
Yeah, it is a huge out. Michigan now went from runners on the corners with no outs to only a runner on third with 2 outs, and now 2 strikes at the hitter at the plate in Piero. Widra's 1-2 pitch, missing wide.
This would be huge to get out of this inning here.
Michigan still down 3. Want to do everything in their power to keep USF scoreless here, to lighten the load that the offensive side is going to have to pick up on. 2-2 pitch. Just missing inside.
Epperson on deck. Hot bat, the one that just launched that solo shot in the 4th.
Yeah, not the person you want to have to come up to the plate with runners on potentially the corners here. Full count, 2 outs. Runner on third. Widra gets her to foul it off, and we're going to do that one again. Piero doing a nice job staying in the fight. Widra taking a long look over to the dugout. Nods yes to the sign. And now here we go. Full count pitch to Piero. And they're going to say it missed the zone. That one was real close from up here.
I thought we were going to get the he from Willie Lopez. Instead, he stays silent, and Piero struts on down to first.
Epperson, a red-hot bat in this lineup. 1 for 2 on the day. Single back in the second, solo home run in the fourth. 2 outs, runners on the corner. She swings at pitch number 1 and fouls it back into the net.
Weedra's done well, the freshman Weedra, and showing some composure here late.
The 0-1 pitch to Madison Epperson. This one fouled back into the net again, and Weedra's out way ahead, 0-2. Weedra looking to get herself out of the jam now. Up 0-2 in the count. On Epperson, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Change up on the outside. Michigan not going to get the call. Everyone upset about that one.
And Piero able to snag second there. Now 2 in scoring position for the Bulls.
Count is 1-2. Weedra delivers with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. And she is amped up. What a pitch from Annabelle Weedra.
Ice in the veins right there. 2 runners in scoring position. You thought you just got the called strike 3. Stolen base during the confusion. 2 runners in scoring position, and then the cold-blooded swing and a miss. Giving your team a chance. And they just announced Corrick's record-breaking achievement to the crowd here.
Michigan has some work to do here in the top of the 7th. They're down 4-1. They've got Ellie Sealer due up first, then Annabelle Weedra, who has to have all sorts of adrenaline pumping after that incredible outing. And then it's going to be followed up by Sierra Kirsten and Ella Mcveigh. Kirsten and Mcveigh have re-entered the lineup for Rodriguez and Livingston. And their last time up, Sealer doubled to the left center gap. And boy, would Michigan like one of those here. USF today, 4 runs on 5 hits. Michigan only 1 run on 5 hits.
Yeah, and the difference has been those extra base hits from the Bulls. 2 home runs, providing all of the scoring. The 3-run jack from Foreman in the first, and then Epperson in the fourth. Both of them going over that right field fence into the Lawler family batting facility.
So here we go, last chance for the Wolverines. Corrick spinning the ball in the right hand. First pitch to Sealer, misses wide.
And you know Corrick's not going to make it easy.
No, in a game where you just broke the record for the most strikeouts ever in your conference, you're going to want to finish that game with a win. 1-0 pitch. Bounced off the net. Foul and almost into the hand of Annabelle Weedra, who almost made a pretty sweet play over there in the on-deck circle.
And regardless of the fact that it's a record-breaking day for Corrick, she's also just really good at throwing a softball.
1-1 pitch from Corrick. This one hits slow on the ground towards Maldonado at third. It's going to be a close play, and she gets her on the run.
It's a nice play there by Maldonado. Seiler with the speed. but Maldonado able to make a play on the ball and rifle it down to Epperson to get the first out.
The fuse now even shorter for Michigan. 2 outs as Annabelle, or 1 out rather, 2 outs to go as Annabelle Weidra steps to the plate. Looks like it is Kaylee Rodriguez in the on-deck circle. So most likely it will be Livingston as well in the 9-hole.
And the Wolverines at the bottom end of their lineup don't quite have the pop you'd be hoping for in this kind of situation where you need runs in a hurry.
Weidra swinging a miss on pitch number 1. Now we'll have to work from behind. Lines up the bat. Corrick delivers. Gets her for the second time, and looks like we were a pitch behind. That's strike 3 as Weidra heads back to the bench.
Wolverines on their last leg here.
It's Melina Livingston up at the plate. Kaylee Rodriguez in the on-deck circle. First pitch to Livingston, big swing and a miss. Corrick got her with the changeup. 0-1 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Michigan's going to need to put together a 2-out rally to stay alive. Pitch number 2 hit hard on the ground, over towards second base, and it's going to bounce up into the chest of Piero and make its way into the outfield.
Wolverines with a little bit of life here late.
And up steps Kaylee Rodriguez. So Livingston, the transfer student from Penn State, getting it done here in the top of the 7th, keeping Michigan alive. Now the switch hitter, Rodriguez, batting from the left side as the first pitch misses wide.
Corrick not going to make it easy.
1-0 count to Rodriguez with 2 outs. That one a strike at the letters. Lexi Blair on deck. And Michigan would really love to get back to the top of the order here. 1-1 to Rodriguez. Hit foul over towards the USF bench, and now Corrick just 1 strike away. The USF crowd is on their feet, and they are loud here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Kaylee Rodriguez, the Wolverines' last hope, swung on and missed. And that's going to do it. What an outing for Georgina Corrick on a historic night. 11 strikeouts for her and the all-time AAC record.
Just a tremendous performance from the circle from Corrick.
A disappointing second day for Michigan. They were red hot coming into today, lost a tough one against Florida, and then lost another tough one here against USF.
And going into it, the team knew this was going to be a tough couple games. Obviously, the Bulls not ranked quite as high as the Florida Gators, but you knew you were going to get their best in Georgina Corrick, and that's not going to make it an easy game no matter who you're playing.
Corrick, just below us, we just saw, made sure after the conclusion of the game to run over and shake Coach Carol Hutchins' hand.
Tremendous amount of respect on both sides, I'm sure.
But a disappointing end to our coverage here from Tampa. There's 1 game for the Wolverines tomorrow. They will play Kansas City for a second time. But unfortunately, we here at WCBN Sports will be making the travels back to Ann Arbor. So this is going to do it for our coverage. To everyone who tuned in through the 4-game stretch, we would like to thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Again, as we said before, none of this would be possible without any of you. All of your continued support is so very much appreciated. Again, we do this for you as much as we do it for us. But this is not the last you'll hear of WCBN Sports covering Michigan softball, and definitely not the last of us here on the WCBN Sports YouTube channel. Have plenty of stuff going on tonight.
Stick around for some men's basketball in about a half hour.
Men's basketball facing off against Ohio State. That should be quite the game. But again, from Charlie Brigham and Kelin Flynn for the last time here in Tampa, Florida, until hopefully next year, we would like to just thank you from the very bottoms of our hearts. And again, my name is Charlie Brigham, Kelin Flynn alongside me. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to leave you like we always do with a good night and a Go Blue.